Um, Shoot, when Milt shot it, I thought it was going in. Then I saw Jesse flying in the air for it. I just stepped in just in case, the ball bounced to me, and it happened to bounce to me. So I just found out where I was at, and shot the ball.
You're not a stranger to sort of big shots and big moments like that, obviously, through college. What's it like to sort of have your first one for this team in that sort of moment, in a big game like that?
It's always great to hit a big shot, especially I was struggling, scoring the ball today. So just to see that one go through, it was great. Hopefully I get to do it more often.
What did you make of the end of the game, the shots back and forth, and then the shot from Tyson?
Yeah, DJ, massive deep three ball, and he still gets one off in the last few seconds as well, which he's capable of kind of making. But yeah, we put the even though Milt probably didn't shoot it the way he wanted it to today, it's he's the guy that we're putting the ball in his hands, and he's so far this year he's shown his closing ability, and he got a good shot off. But Jesse was huge all day, I was surprised when I saw 10 for 10. Not often you see a box score and then seeing Isaac 9 for 10, and so the centres were pretty efficient for both teams today. Yeah, we had a game plan. Obviously, no practice. You just, what we could do on video and what we could talk about for this game as a game plan. And, a part of that was to let Cheatham, to really get the ball out of Bryce's hands and let kind of the ball come out to Cheatham a little bit. But he was just a great decision maker today, and so his ability to find Isaac under the rim, to hit some threes as well. And so yeah, that was a challenge for us, and we had to find kind of different ways to win. And when we haven't shot the basketball well the last couple of games, getting to the foul line's been really good for us, and extra possessions with O boards, and so there was an effort area that really won us this game.
What did you make of the execution of the coverage on Bryce from Tyson, from Dash, two guys who I don't think have done it before? What did you make of their efforts?
Yeah, I thought they were great. There's a lot to learn without just watching him on film, to go out and feel it and just understand what we're trying to live with. And yeah, he's such a tough cover, and the thing that we talked about at halftime with him was just when he gives it up, just how good he is and getting to his next action, and how quick we could get back to the body and try and stop him either back cutting or shaking you off for the next part. And so yeah, I thought both of them were excellent tonight, and they'll get better.
Tyson, he had a pretty big game for our offense, obviously, with that last shot. But I wanted to ask you about defense. He had a pretty tough assignment for us, Cotton. It was your first time against him. What do you kind of make being on the court, trying to stop a guy who's been so good in this league for so long?
He's a tough shot maker, so just trying to not let him get any easy ones, try to keep making him make tough ones. He kind of got going second quarter, had to make some adjustments. I think everybody else did a great job helping, just always being active, not relaxing, knowing like the ball's coming back to him, and just trying my best.
Dean, has there been much talk around the 9-0 start of the season around the club? Is there, I suppose, just an understanding of the historical aspects of that?
Yeah, no, I did mention it before this weekend to say how we had an opportunity to match the best start of our club, and for these guys to want to be talked about if they can get that done as being a part of that group. We didn't spend a lot of time on it though. The major part for us is, just we keep putting the season into 3-game lots, and that's the kind of game that you want in a game 3 to down the end of the year is a packed out home crowd that was unbelievable in the last 2 minutes of the game. Their noise level was amazing. A close game. We make a big shot. Fun playing against a great team like that and challenging ourselves defensively. We just got to find a way after travelling back and road trips, and how can we just be a little bit more efficient offensively.
Can you talk a little bit about Finn Delaney's impact? A bit of an unsung hero tonight, I think.
Yeah, I thought he had great energy the whole night. We asked him to do a job on Cheatham, and part of that was really helping out with Isaac and Bryce and all these other things. We needed him to be a helper, but yeah, I thought his attack offensively, some of his pace downhill, at the end of the game, we got him switching on to Bryce. He was able to do that, and so yeah, I thought he had a great impact on the game tonight.
You touched on it a bit before, Dash and Tyson's impact on Bryce, but how big is it for Dash at his age to be able to play against a guy like a superstar like Bryce?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question for him. But, he's just stepping up to the challenge, and he knows he's a great defender. He knows that part of his game, and, he's willing to go guard anybody. And he didn't get too many things, wrong tonight. He'll learn about some of the snatchbacks and some of the moves that Bryce makes. But, he was excellent, and was able to get him enough rest to just come in and really close the game out for us, which is, something we'll continue to work with lineups to close games. But, yeah, I really wanted to trust Tice, and for good reason tonight.
Mike was in here, he said it felt like a playoff game. Some of the minutes of your guys are sort of up from the other games you've played. Do you also feel like as playoff of an environment as we've had so far?
Yeah, we kind of shortened the rotation by one a little bit. We've been playing 11 or 12, but, and Tommy Wilson gave Tyson some good rest in the first half there, and then we used, Milt a little bit more in the second half as a relief kind of point guard. And so, CG's minutes climbed up to 25, which was good on the back-to-back, and still got to find ways to get Jesse somewhere up to that 25, 26 mark as well. But he could take away a couple of little fouls from him, and I think we climb up there as well.
Have you ever seen a coach and a player go face-to-face like Mike and CG did in the first half? And what did you make of that sort of interaction?
Yeah, I saw it a little bit. There was a little talk about it in the coach's room there. So, I think there's been continual talk about in our league that we want to see some emotion that's not getting penalised by tech fouls or different things. I probably thought that was a good conversation for those two, and obviously you enjoyed it, and other people might have enjoyed it as well. As long as they didn't go over the top, we've got to have some of that.
The strictness of the refereeing is making news this week. How are you assessing things at the moment in terms of tech fouls?
Hopefully, the product that the players are putting on the floor. I've always been one to say, be able to celebrate things that you do really well, and at times there's players are going to have frustrations, and I'd much rather see just a couple of little warnings to say, hey, next time that's going to be a tech foul. Just keep talking to players rather than, bang, that's just a tech foul. Same with Gorgeous stuff the other day. It's like, no, I don't know. To me, that stuff's too much. So, I always like a game when it's 18 fouls each or something like that. And tonight we were well down on that. So, credit to the referees about how they handled it tonight.
Coach, speaking of fouling, from bridging from the first quarter to the third quarter, you guys didn't concede a free throw. Was there anything tactically that you guys did to sort of keep them away and for you guys to remain disciplined?
It's a hell of an effort. We go that long and when you look at the margin in the game, and obviously our ability to get to the line was great. We've got some really good wall-up guys in our team. People coming downhill have got to shoot over. Jesse and Fab's a great wall-up guy. So, it wasn't anything instructional to say don't foul them or anything like that. It was hopefully we just played the right way and referees didn't need to make calls.
Dean, how important is a game, playoff atmosphere sort of like this in preparing the guys for, what's to come later in the season? Yeah,
I think more than anything about how you travel and how you have limited preparation and how you can, obviously the guys the other night did a great job and we were able to, restrict some minutes and as fresh as we possibly could be coming into this game. And, you saw some fatigue and we're seeing that in the way they've shot the ball in the last couple of games. But that more than anything, how we execute in close games. And, there was do we call time out, that last little part? And it was just kind of like, how was the challenge rule, different things. There were some things there that we continue to tidy up and execute down the stretch a little bit better. But you need those close games to go through that.
Dean, on the very final play they had after Tyson's basket, you had a foul to give, you decided not to foul in the end. Was that a choice made in timeout, or was that just kind of how it happened on the court?
Yeah, just really, I think was it 2.5, something like that. Yeah, the catch and shoot was, predominantly what I thought they were going to get. You might have time to take one dribble, to put a hand in there on that dribble, and they lift up on you. I think you're playing with fire a little bit there. So, certainly made a decision that we weren't going to foul on the last play.
All good.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.